Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, Season 2. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast. We recap, break down, analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous week. Ja, another week, another podcast, and another day and closer to the NBA playoffs. Are you ready? You excited for it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm excited for it, but I'm ready to see what happens. I say that.
Not excited for the playoffs, man.
I don't really get too riled up until it actually happens.
Really?
Yeah, that's just me.
Isn't that maybe because your Bulls team is frauds?
Nah, it has nothing to do with the Bulls.
You sure? You haven't been a single great team.
Hey, things could change. Come playoff time, we don't know.
Yeah, the playoffs are different from the regular season. Don't get me wrong. But when they say that, they usually mean like when a team is like, when matched up against that team in the regular season, they never beat them. But that team is a better team than that other team. They just haven't beat them in the regular season. But then when the playoffs come, it's a different story. But when a team is 0-15, 0-16 against top 3 teams in each conference.
Well, one conference they don't have to focus on, though. They just got to focus on whoever they're facing.
True, but considering they play those teams in this conference more.
Yeah.
And they're still winless.
Okay, so you're talking about the fact that so they're 0-16 in terms of Eastern Conference teams. They're 0-16 against the Bucks, the Bulls. I'm not the Bulls. The Bucks, the Heat, and what's the third one?
Sixers.
Well, obviously, the Bulls, this will be the first time in the postseason in a long time. So, obviously, I'm most definitely not going to say that they're better than those teams until it actually happens. And clearly, you could tell that the regular season is telling you, like, it's a possibility if they ever get through to face those teams, that obviously this may be the outcome. They may get swept. But in terms of that, we don't got to focus on them right now because last time I remember the Bulls are the 4th seed, correct? Or 5th seed?
They are the 5th seed.
They are the 5th seed, and the 4th seed is Boston, right?
Yes.
And we just got to see how they do against Boston, and that's it. And Boston has been playing great, but they're not the top 3 people. It's just like, hey, let's just see.
I know you're scared. Just say you're scared.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared because if you look at it, the Bulls and the Celtics are evenly matched teams, in my opinion. When you look at it from both an offensive perspective and a defensive perspective.
You're trying. I do. You're trying.
I'm not.
Last 10 games, the Bulls are 9-1. I mean, the Celtics are 9-1, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. Last 10 games for the Bulls, they're 3-7. And even though DeRozan was not playing last game, they just lost to the Pelicans.
Again, a different conference. It's quite
different conference.
Look, man.
They're the 9th. I was about to say the 10th seed, and then I remembered the Lakers. They're the 9th seed in the Western Conference. The Pelicans are not that good.
Okay, they're not that good. They have CJ McCollum, though. They upgraded. But yeah, okay, they're not that good. But
yeah,
okay,
they're a better team, but they're not. They shouldn't be beating the Bulls, even without DeRozan.
Okay, yes, you're right. You're absolutely correct. Sometimes certain teams have their days, like how the Magic had their day against the Warriors. But yeah, you're right. You're most definitely right.
That was cool. But what's the difference is we know what the Warriors can do.
We don't know what the Bulls can do. That's the difference. Okay, I understand. Well, we're gonna see when it comes. Look,
and more importantly, we know what DeRozan can do in the playoffs. We know what he can do in the playoffs. Okay, I'm not going to expand on that. I'm just going to leave it at that. We know.
Okay, all right, cool. Congratulations, LeBron beat us so many times. All right, cool. As I was saying,
that's not it.
As I was saying. If you was to ask me my opinion, if the playoffs was to start right now versus that 4th and 5th seed, I'd tell you right now, I'll be honest. I'll be open and honest. I did say that Chicago was my dark horse, most definitely. But if you tell me in this series who I got, I will have to say Boston, not because of one simple thing. This is an experienced team that majority of the guys have been together for so long. The only new difference with Boston is coaching. That's what it comes down to. But again, when you have Tatum and Brown, who has legit been to the conference finals multiple times, have had deep runs in the playoffs, compared to a Bulls team in which, even though yes, they have talent that have been to the playoffs before and have been deep to the playoffs, as this team as a whole and this organization as a whole hasn't been to the playoffs in a long time, then yeah, I'm most definitely going to say that Boston got it. But yeah, we don't know until the playoffs come around. So we just going to stay quiet and wait. That's it. And if they continue to slip, they may become the 6th seed. And if they face who's in the 3rd seed, then yeah, then we have no chance. But yeah.
Listen, they are currently 1 game ahead of the Cleveland Cavaliers. But this even gets better. The Cavaliers, actually no, they are also 1 game ahead of the Toronto Raptors, who are the 7th seed. Imagine if the Chicago Bulls, who were once the number 1 seed in the East, drop all the way to the play-in. And then imagine in the play-in, they face the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, you really try so hard.
And then imagine they face the Hornets or the Hawks. Imagine if they face the Hawks. It will be the biggest fall from grace in one season by a team. And I would just laugh at you.
Laugh at me for what?
Van Vliet, come on.
Oh, laugh at me for what? What did I say? What did I say?
Look at you. Gotta be
most of the
miserable.
hype was pitched on. Most of the hype was pitched on DeRozan whenever I talked about the Bulls. I was happy for the Bulls, but I never expounded on their greatness and success ever.
Oh no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
You know, I mainly specifically talked about DeRozan,
but
you know that.
You're right. But you also talk about the Bulls as a whole. You talk about Levine, do you not?
Yes, but I never went crazy though. I never went crazy. I mainly went crazy about DeRozan, and that's it. I never ever went crazy after that. And you could, I swear, you could go watch all the videos that we possibly talked about this season's Bulls. And I'm telling you right now, I talked about DeRozan mainly. I said I love how their system is in Chicago on both ends of the floor, but mainly most of the time when we talk about the Bulls, we talking about the greatness of DeMar DeRozan. That's all I was talking about.
Okay, but what if he underperforms again?
Then you have all right to cut my ass and disrespect and violate. You can do whatever you want.
Let's get on top of the Bulls. I know you're so nervous.
And I will never hold DeRozan. He's still gonna be my idol, but I will never hold him in that much praise as I usually do. I will still have faith in him, but I will not hold him in that much praise like I used to in the past.
Let's get on top of the Bulls because I know you're just so hurt and you're so nervous right now.
I'm not hurt. I'm not nervous. There's nothing about me shaking right now.
I know you're so nervous. You don't want the Bulls to drop. If they're the 7th seed, you're in trouble. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, we most definitely in trouble because I remember what the Nets did to us in Chicago. So yeah, we most definitely. Well, when you got KD and Kyrie, what you expect?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. Speaking of KD and Kyrie Irving is now officially able to play in Brooklyn Nets home games.
Thank you, M.O.B.
In a wise decision, the Nets made vaccinated players able to play in I don't know why that alarm going on. Actually, I don't know why. But also the M.O.B, right? You said?
Yeah, the M.O.B.
Yeah. So Kyrie, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it was already stupid. When the mayor of New York City came out and said that you don't have to be vaccinated to enter, restaurants and theaters or diners and, all these kind of buildings.
Yeah.
And then the Nets private sector say that no, just because of that, you still can't play. But you can come to the game and watch as a fan.
To be honest,
how does that even sound right? This is so stupid.
To be honest, the city of New York is already weird and complex anyways with the way that they do things and run things. So to be honest, are we surprised and shocked at this? Like, me and you are both from New York. Are we really surprised and shocked by the fact that New York moves the way they move? They move weird. They move like they're their own country. Like, come on now.
It's
stupid, but it's not.
You can't play with the players because you're not vaccinated, and you can cause them to get COVID. But you come to the games, dab them up, yeah.
Again, that's New York for you. There you go.
I think that was just so stupid. No matter what your stance on about COVID and all that, but nonetheless, it's dangerous now. And I think they needed that because they're the Nets and they have KD and Kyrie, but you still don't want to be in the playing spot because a team just needs to get lucky for one game.
Yes.
You don't have to be the better team. You just have to get lucky. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I'm an NFL fan. I've seen it so many times in the playoffs. Just because a team is a better team in the regular season, or just because they have a better team, does not mean that they can slip up. They cannot slip up for one game. It's possible. I've seen it happen dozens and dozens of times. That's why I think it's important that Kyrie is now back and playing and can play in every single game, so he can get out of that situation and head to the playoffs where they have an infinite amount of chance to do vibes in that playoff because of their team, because of their roster, because of their talent, because of the superstars they have on this roster. In a best of 7 series, they can match up with anybody top to bottom because of that.
You know, I got a stupid, weird, funny question for you. Do you think that the NBA will be more entertaining if they legit have 1 game series only? Because look, think about it. Think about what you said. Football obviously is a different sport. Contact, health, and stuff goes into a whole lot of factors because the dangers of football compared to basketball long term is way more deep. But when you think about it, let's be honest now. Shockings, upsets, like you don't have to be better for a whole series. You got to be really good that one day, and you can't slip up. So think about it. Take that from what the NFL is doing, obviously, and put that in the NBA. And let's see how many shockings, upsets, surprises, and stuff happen.
Yeah, it will be more shocking, right? It will be more surprising, and all that. But it would take away from the feel of the NBA because of their best of 7 series, and what they try to do with their best of 7 series. It diminishes the luck factor. So of course, there's always a bit of luck in everything and anything. Yeah. But with the best of 7 series, most of the time, you truly get the best team to win the series most of the time.
It also has to do with marketing because you don't want a certain team in the finals anyways, too, to be honest.
You don't want the Hornets in the finals, you know.
Exactly. Like
even if they got LaMelo.
Yeah, like no disrespect to because I love Cat and I love D'Angelo Russell and things like that.
They don't want to see Minnesota.
You don't want to see Minnesota versus Hornets in the finals. Like, just to be honest. Let's just be honest.
Man. But then again, it works on the flip. On the flip side, it works in doesn't work in their favor because then you had like those Spurs teams from the 2000s that was viewed as boring and unentertaining, but they were the best team and nobody could beat them. Yeah, for the exception of like the Lakers, they will also beat the Lakers too. So, but and it works like that. But no, I wouldn't change it. I like the best of 7 series. The best teams win most of the time, and I like that. And plus, I love the multiple matchups. I get the feeling of it. I like the different avenue that it brings compared to the NFL. So I want it to stay like that.
Okay, so we both agree that Trae Young and the Hawks was a better team than New York last year.
No, they got lucky. And luck still plays a factor. I didn't say it eliminates luck. I said diminishes it. It doesn't eliminate it completely. Luck is still a factor. They just got lucky. Oh well, he got lucky the other night too. But we're not talking about them guys that play in Madison Arena. Okay, well I told you we're done with that. Nonetheless, I think this is great for the Nets. They should really be happy that the stupidity is finally been taken over by intelligence. And now play it out this playoff spot. Let me see. I mean, they're kind of back. They're 3 games back. But if everyone's healthy, Kyrie and KD's playing, I think they can go on maybe a little bit of run. I know they just recently lost, but I think they can go on a little bit of a run. Huh?
The simple thing is, though, also, you said it mainly. They all need to be healthy. And speaking of health, Ben Simmons needs to be on the court. I feel like if they really want to go for this run, I feel like they need Simmons on the court at this point.
I agree too, but I don't know if he's going to come back for the rest of the regular season. I mean, I don't know. I don't have sources or anything. This is just my opinion. I don't know if he will.
Well, look at. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, Ben Simmons is a star, and he should be. Now, obviously,
all-star.
I'm not going to. He's an all-star, and I'm not going to obviously hold him in extreme high esteem like I would KD and Kyrie. But the impact that he makes to your team on both ends of the floor, especially defensively in terms of perimeter, and in terms of and offensively in terms of the fact that obviously Kyrie being who he is as a point guard from a stance of just scoring, obviously Kyrie could do everything, but in terms of scoring specifically, you got Ben who could basically legit be like as if he's your pure point guard and facilitate and get guys those kind of spaces and shots and openings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you more of an advantage of that you had if you didn't have him, in my opinion. So I feel like they need Ben if they really want to get out that playing spot. They really need Ben.
Yeah, I agree. We'll keep track on them. We'll see what's going on with the Brooklyn Nets. We'll see their injury status, and we'll see if they can get out of that playing spot.
Let's see.
But all right, let's talk about some teams that clinched. We mentioned that the Nets had lost the other night, and that's because they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies. And in that win by the Memphis Grizzlies, they have clinched a playoff spot. My boys down there in Memphis, and they did it without J.A. Oh, this is what we talk. Where's Angel? Wait, where's Angel? He came on top, but he's an MVP. This team just beat KD and Kyrie without your MVP to clinch a playoff spot. Come on, man.
Well, I'll be honest about Memphis. I look.
This team's dangerous.
This team is crazy. I never expected them to have this type of season that they're having. Like, I expected them to do well, especially after making it to playoffs for the first time last season. I expect them to make a huge improvement, but not this type of huge improvement. They went above and beyond expectations. And again, I know it's weird and stuff like that, but again, the swag of this team is giving off like WWF D-Generation X vibes like that. Like, I don't like if you know wrestling, wrestling at that time, if you was alive for it, you was different, or you watch it now in terms of the historic things that they put up on WWE, I'm telling you right now, you could see that kind of like, they do not care. They're going to be rebellious. They're going to be negative. They're going to disrespect, and they're going to talk their shit to whoever they want. That's the kind of vibe that Memphis giving off. And they could do it because you want to know why? They legit got the talent to back it up. Now, playoffs is different now, but luckily they're a high seed. They're a high seed, and things changes. So now they have to prove it now because they're an unproven team in the playoffs. They lost in the first round, obviously, last season. So so even though they exceeded expectations from that time, then again, and they was also in the playing, I believe so, right? They were in the playing situation that
2 years ago, yes, against Portland, in which they lost.
And then were they in the playoff? Were they in the playing situation last year too?
Yes, they was, and they beat San Antonio and then shocked Golden State in the Chase Center.
Okay, yeah. So basically, you see, now you got to prove it. You're a high seed. Now you got to prove that you're a better team. And I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing about it because they're the second seed, and I was just like, just imagine if my guy Cat was to face able to get that Timberwolves to get that 7th seed. They'll be facing the Memphis Grizzlies, and I'm just like, to have like the two teams that, well, even though the Wolves aren't my team, again, I got one of my favorite players on there, And you know what I mean? And those series are like that series will be great for me to watch. Now we all know who's the better team out of the two, but we all know this team is similar in terms of play style and how they like to how they like to go, especially offensively. And I was just like, we saw how it has been in the regular season. Let's take it up a notch. Let's see how it is now. Playoff time. Let's see, could Cat shock the world, or could this Memphis Grizzlies do what they've been doing? You know what? We want to stay quiet, man. I don't like to talk much, man, because sometimes when I say one thing, like the opposite usually happens. So I'm not going to talk too much, but congratulations to the Memphis Grizzlies. You have shocked majority of people and made it up. And J.A., you ain't gonna win MVP, but hey, we just gonna.
I can't. I'm happy for them boys in Memphis. I mean, they just got a talented team. They're young and they finally have some experience under their belt from last year and previous year before that, being in these big stages. Of course, they got John Morant. You see, they're still talented without him. Desmond Bane. They got Steven Adams. They got Dylan Brooks. This team is just loaded.
Yeah.
And their coach, I
forgot his name too.
Taylor Jenkins?
Yeah, there we go. Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah. Taylor Jenkins, he's done a phenomenal job. This team, just watch out for this team. And I remember when we was talking about in the group discussion, I do believe they have a strong chance, especially now. And even if this other team can get there, they have a strong chance to beat the Warriors. The Warriors are the third seed now. Grizzlies passed them up with the injury of Stephen Curry. And potentially, if the Warriors aren't healthy, they might get knocked out the first round. Currently, they're facing the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
It's a dangerous match for anybody. They're not healthy. They will lose. Yeah. But if they're healthy, everything's going well for them, and they meet up with the Grizzlies in the second round. I'd love to see that series. My boys in Memphis knocked them out last year in the play-in. Yeah. That was a shocking upset. But that was one. I think it's potentially happening again, huh?
Yeah, but that was one game, though. Don't forget what we talked about, the difference between one game versus 7 games. But the momentum, right, as we talked about, the momentum could all come down within that first game.
You're 100% right. But still, I do think they have a chance to beat this Warriors team. But as I said in the group discussion, they have a chance to beat the Warriors team, but I don't think that they have a chance to beat this team that just clinched the #1 seed, the Phoenix Suns. 60 wins, 14 losses, and Chris Paul has been out. And like I said, Chris Paul has been out. There has been no worry, none whatsoever. They had just been taking care of business, business as usual.
There was a time we was talking about this, and we was talking about the standings and stuff like that. Before All-Star break, like pre-All-Star break and stuff like that, and I was like, and we had a conversation about it. I was like, how we expect to go after, and I was just like, come on, bro, let's be honest. They already clinched the first seed. I said, I don't know, like after that whole win streak, in which, like, what was the photo that I sent? Like, legit, as I was saying, like there was this photo, like that Devin Booker posted up one time, in which like all you saw was just straight W's for like a whole month in some like.
And one loss, and then went back to W's.
Exactly, like, you know what I mean, like obviously I know they wish they had all W's instead of that one fiery emoji that like that got him upset, but like, but like outside of that, like I already knew that the Suns was gonna clinch. I knew that they was gonna clinch it. I didn't have no, like, I'm not gonna say I lost. Obviously, I never lose faith in what Golden State has, of course. But I knew for a fact they wasn't gonna get the first seed, especially after the run that the Suns went on. I knew that they wasn't gonna get the first seed. And I don't know if this is the most difficult schedule for the Suns, but even if this was or wasn't, I still knew that they was gonna get the first seed after what they did before the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned, Chris Paul was out. Business as usual. He still did that thing. He just recently came back in that win against Denver, which had them clinch the game. And this team is loaded. This team is loaded. I mean, they can play so many styles of basketball. They have a great coach. They have a great leader. They have their franchise player. If this team isn't your championship favorite, I don't know what to tell you right now.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what makes crazy? They're hungry. They're hungry. They've been to the finals last year. They saw what happened. And now they just like, you know
blew a
what?
2-0 lead.
Yeah, don't do that. But like,
No,
you know,
I'm saying like I'm stay hungry.
oh yeah, okay.
To add on to how hungry they are to get back to and redeem themselves.
And I believe Chris Paul was somewhat still injured a little bit during that series. I could be wrong, but like, you know, it's just like, you know, it was no, like they had their chance to grieve for that off season, but there's no more grieving time. They eventually saw that they got, just like what you said, they got straight back to business. They knew what they had to do, and they're showing it. And now playoff time is approaching, and they're trying to show why last year wasn't a fluke, because a lot of people didn't, especially me, I didn't expect them to make it to the finals last year, and they slapped the shot at me. So, like, you know, now they just continuing to prove that now this season.
Yeah, we both had the Lakers winning in the first round. The Suns just did that, but
and they the Lakers now too. Way better. Not told by 30 plus games better than the Lakers. 30 plus games better than the Lakers.
And I'm looking at the Suns, and I realized some similarities that might be nervous about, considering a video I've been working on. But I won't say much. Let's just hope that it does not end how that other team that I'm talking about ended. You know, 2-0, 2-0 in the finals.
Yeah.
Blew the lead. The next year, come back looking to redeem themselves, run through the league, you know, winning streaks, depth on the roster. Maybe not an MVP, but probably coach of the year. Let's just not hope there's no we believe. I'm just gonna say that.
Amen. That valley, the valley is looking crazy right now. The valley is looking crazy. It's looking nice to be there right now. The sun is shining. Summer's approaching, so the sun is shining up in the valley.
Yep. Well, all right. John, I think it's that time to once again, as I said, with the playoffs approaching, we'll be reading out the standings each podcast episode. So let's do that now, starting off in the Eastern Conference. The number 1 seed, the Miami Heat. The number 2 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks, who was only a game behind the Miami Heat. The number 3 seed, Philadelphia 76ers. Playoffs start today. They will be facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4 seed, Boston Celtics, who will be facing the Chicago Bulls as the 5th seed. Playoffs started today. Yeah. Play-in tournament, 7th seed, Toronto Raptors will be going up against the Brooklyn Nets, 8th seed. And, of course, winning the 7th seed, battle the Milwaukee Bucks. Loser faces the winner of the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks. And then they will take the 8th seed and will battle the Miami Heat. Right. Yeah. Western Conference, clinched the number 1 seed, the Phoenix Suns. The number 2 seed clinched the playoff spot, the Memphis Grizzlies. The number 3 seed, Golden State Warriors, who will be facing the Denver Nuggets. The playoffs will start today. The 4th seed, their record is tied right now, tied with the 5th seed. The 4th seed, Jazz, and the 5th seed, Dallas Mavericks.
That's crazy, man.
Yep, 45-28. That's their record.
Luka did that all by himself, man.
Don't do that. They got a nice little squad. Spencer Dinwiddie. They made a great trade.
Great.
They made a great trade. Fantastic trade.
Shade to Porzingis, huh?
No, I'm just saying. Spencer Dinwiddie hit 2 back-to-back buzzer beaters.
Well, we all know that Spencer Dinwiddie was just like that even before.
Brooklyn. 7th seed, your Minnesota Timberwolves, who will be battling the 8th seed, Los Angeles Clippers. Of course, winner will take the 7th seed spot and battle the Memphis Grizzlies. The 9th seed, New Orleans Pelicans. Same record as the 10th seed, Los Angeles Lakers. Winner faces the loser of the Minnesota Clippers game, and then we'll face the number 1 seed in essential death sentence, the Phoenix Suns.
Well, let's be honest about the Lakers, right? Even if they were, let's just say the play-in started right now and they was able to beat New Orleans, regardless of who they face, like, let's be honest, these teams basically just have some kind of confidence over them. Like Minnesota and obviously the Clippers have some kind of confidence or some kind of vibe over those guys, in which obviously the Lakers aren't healthy, but that's no excuse. They should not have never still been in this situation in the first place.
Their talent doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so it's just like, and like, these two teams got confidence. So regardless of who wins that 7th, 8th seed, that 7th, 8th, that playing game for the 7th spot, just know, I think we saw enough in the regular season. Things changes now because the stakes are high and this is one game, but I think the season series between these teams against the Lakers have kind of shown you, like, they don't care about what if the Lakers are in the way. They really don't care if the Lakers are in the way. Just trust them.
Which matchup would be more interesting? First, it would be so funny if the Pelicans eliminate the Lakers. I'm just saying that. It would be so funny if the Pelicans eliminate the Lakers.
No Zion is still doing that? That's crazy.
What would be more funny as a play-in matchup if the Timberwolves was to lose to the Clippers and then face the Lakers if the Lakers beat the Pelicans, or the Clippers face the Lakers?
Well, everybody. Well, it will be funny if to me, in my opinion, it will be more funny.
Remember what Cat did?
Look, in terms of the Minnesota versus Lakers, if that was to happen, it would be funny because of Pat Bev versus Westbrook. That would be the funny part about it. And to me, that would be the only one about it. But the thing that will make it more funny is obviously the Clippers versus the Lakers, because everybody's been anticipating this matchup since Kawhi and PG linked up, and it never happened.
Imagine it finally happens as a playing game.
Exactly. So that will be making more funny to people. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the fact that this matchup finally happens, but in a play-in, in which, like, basically one team has none of their stars, but still was able to do better than a team that's talented but injury riddled. It will be funny. And Reggie Jackson is going to just be skipping and dancing on them again, like.
Yeah, that got it. I gotta see. I gotta see that. But I want to say, come on, Lakers, beat the Pelicans. But if the Pelicans win,
CJ McCollum going to be doing vibes. Just know that. CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram are going to be doing vibes. That's all I got to say.
And real quick before we go on predictions, I just want to say, the Minnesota Timberwolves are only one game behind the Nuggets for the 6th seed.
Yeah, I was saying that to myself too, but I'm just like, I don't see, no disrespect to Cat, I don't see Minnesota passing Denver, and I don't see Denver doing bad. I truly, honestly don't see Denver moving from that 6th spot.
Okay, well, I can try to. Oh yeah, I forgot. This app's terrible. I can try to pull up the schedule. So I'm trying to pull up the schedule for both teams and see who has an easier schedule, so we can figure this out. Okay, Minnesota's remaining games tonight of this recording. The Mavericks.
Yeah, they're not beating them. It was a close game the last time, but they're not beating them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they only lost by 2. What do you mean? Again. Sunday, the Celtics in Boston.
No.
Next Wednesday, the Raptors in Canada.
Yeah, okay. Come on now.
They winning or losing?
Well, I'll give them that Toronto game if for this one specific condition. If all 3 stars of that Minnesota team is on their stuff, because I spoke about
basically if the players come and play.
Exactly. Because like I spoke about it before and I speak about it again. Cat can have a great game, but then Edwards can have a bad game, and then Russell can have a bad game and they lose. Or 2 of the 3 can have a great game and they still lose, because not all 3 of them legit have to have a great game. in order for them to try to move up. And they're gonna have and if they're in the play-in, they're most definitely gonna have to all three have a great game. Nobody could be horrible, terrible, bad. Like I don't want to see, like, I'm not no stat watcher, but I don't want to see this person just had like, D'Lo has probably like 14 assists and just 6 points. Like, no, you're a scorer mainly, bro. Like, what are you doing? We need you to get buckets for us. You know what I mean? I don't want to see Anthony Edwards not having an inconsistent game with like I legit had to get into an argument with Cherno and shut him up about who should be the franchise player. Like you can't be viewed as a potential franchise player over Cat and have a bad game in an important game. And with Cat, like obviously those 4 years ago when you was in the playoffs, you had a terrible series against Houston. So like now you're leading this team back to a potential playoff spot. And you have to get through the play-in. You gotta be on your A game. I don't want to see no 15 and 11. Like I need to see like a 30 and 20.
Okay.
Or 30 and 15. 30 and 15.
Well, let's go to the April games. The final 5 remaining games. Starting off in an important matchup, the Denver Nuggets in Denver, April 1st, April Fools.
Against that, is Denver versus Denver April
1st?
Yeah,
April Fools. Then 2 days later, Sunday, Rockets in Houston. They lose to the Rockets. Then Tuesday, April 5th, the Wizards. Thursday, April 7th, the Spurs. And final game of the season, Sunday, April 10th, the Bulls.
Well, you already look at them as fraud, so they may just shock me.
All right, well, let's go to Denver now. Monday. Oh, wait, no, let's skip. Saturday, Thunder. Monday, Hornets.
Just give them the 6 seed already. like, come on, bro. Like this.
Wait. Wednesday, Pacers.
Yeah, give them the 6 seed, bro.
As I mentioned, April Fools, Timberwolves. Wait, it gets tougher. Hold on. Sunday, April 3rd, at LA.
Which team in LA?
At LA.
I'm gonna suggest it's the worst of the 2 teams in LA. So yeah, okay. You could give them the 6 seed. You could probably even give them the if Dallas or Utah does bad, you could probably even give them the 5th or the 4th seed at this point. Like all I'm seeing is WWWs, like just like how it was for the Phoenix Suns that whole month. Like
I mean, they're 2.5 games behind Dallas and Utah, so I don't know. But okay, at LA, then April 5th against the Spurs. Then April 7th, second to last game of the season when this team is probably resting their starters, the Grizzlies. Then final game of the season at LA.
Yeah, okay. Again, you could just give them the 6th seed, or you could even potentially give them the 4th or the 5th seed. It's just like Minnesota's not going to move from that spot. I feel like they got a more. You could just see how difficult of a schedule it is, especially the fact of the teams that they're facing versus the teams that the Denver. Come on now.
Yeah. By the way, at LA was the Lakers.
Yeah, even more the better.
Yeah, Denver's probably going to get the 6th seed.
Like it's being honest, it's being real. We're being realistic here. Let's just be honest now, man. Like, no disrespect to Minnesota. I said again, the only way I see them winning games is if all 3 of their stars is on that type of time. If they're not, yeah, stay at that 7th seed and potentially lose that 7th seed, lose the play-in.
Well, all right. Let's get into some predictions, clear out this weekend of predictions. Starting off with the recording, where we're with Jesus Christ. Starting of the day of this recording, which is Friday. So Jazz Hornets. Jazz. Wizards Pistons. I wanted to go Hornets, but I couldn't do it. Wizards Pistons.
Wizards.
NBA TV 7:30. Warriors Hawks.
I'm
gonna say Hawks as well. 8 o'clock, Mavericks Timberwolves. Mavs. 10 o'clock, Rockets, Trailblazers.
Blazers.
Blazers. NBA TV 10:30, 76ers and the Clippers.
76ers, even though
76ers. There's another team with the Madison Arena against the Heat, but I think we know. Saturday, 5 o'clock, Spurs, Pelicans. Pelicans. Spurs are not out of the running for the play-in, by the way.
They're not, and what's giving them that wisdom is DeJounte Murray and the wisdom of Popovich. That's all.
Jesus Christ, man. I was just going to say the other team, but then I saw Kings, Magic. I wanted to immediately say the match as soon as I saw the Kings, but then I just saw Magic, and I was like,
well, I'm going to choose the Kings, but if you choose the Magic, it wouldn't be that bad. If they could beat the Warriors, they could beat the Kings.
True. Draw. Pacers, Raptors.
Raptors.
I got the Kings, by the way. Bulls, Cavaliers. This is a big game.
Cavs.
The Cavs win, the Bulls drop down.
Well, actually, the Bulls beat the Cavs twice this season, so. But I'm going to say Cavs.
If the Raptors win
and the Bulls lose, I know they dropped to the AC the 7th. So
you got the Cavs.
Oh wait, is it in the Cavs?
Cleveland.
It's in yeah. Okay, yeah, they got it. I'm sorry.
Unlike you, I'm gonna go with the Bulls.
I'm sorry,
the Bulls can do it.
I'm sorry, the Bulls
can do it. NBA TV, 8 o'clock. Brooklyn Nets against the Miami Heat.
Shoot, is another fight going to go down in Miami? But I got the Nets. I got the Nets.
I got the Nets as well.
Miami has dropped down. They lost a couple of important games that could have potentially pushed them up to guarantee that first seed.
Yeah, now the Bucks are creeping.
Yeah, so which is crazy because nobody is talking about the Bucks right now, believe it or not. Like we talking about Giannis and Giannis only. Nobody else. We're not talking about the fact that they've been injured. And yet now they about to have the first seed. So
speaking of Giannis and the Bucks against the Grizzlies. The Bucks. Should be a good game though. Thunder Nuggets.
Oh, Nuggets. We already talked about this, man.
Upsets can happen.
Look, the only team I saw the Thunder upset is legit the Lakers. And we know how we look at them now. So yeah, let's go on. They're not upsetting the Nuggets now. Jokic is not gonna make that happen. Like
potential MVP.
Yeah, he's not gonna make that happen. Come on now. I know those games in which the Lakers got upset by the Thunder. LeBron wasn't playing because if LeBron was playing, that one that never happened. But
it didn't matter. Let's be honest. Nuggets and lastly, Rockets, Trailblazers for Saturday's game lineup. Trailblazers.
Yeah, I got the Blazers.
All right. Now Sunday, let's clear off. Timberwolves, Celtics, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, move on.
You got Timberwolves?
No.
You just down your team.
Like I'm sorry, but look at the Celtics are. You said they're on a 9-game winning streak, potentially
5-game winning streak.
5-game winning streak, potentially 6.
They won 9 out of 10.
They've been playing out their mind. Come on now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Celtics. Warriors, Wizards. Warriors. Okay. Warriors. 76ers, Suns. Interesting matchup.
Well, with the way that the Brooklyn Nets treated Harden defensively, I wonder what the Phoenix Suns going to do to them defensively. And there's somebody who Harden hates on that other team, who he played with at one point. So I got the Suns.
I got the Suns. Oh, big matchup. Lakers, Pelicans.
Yeah, the Pelicans got that playing for sure.
You got the Pelicans?
Oh, well, Westbrook has been playing way more better individually.
Way more better.
Yeah, in terms of what he's been able to do. But the Pelicans beat them once. They're gonna probably beat them again.
That's true, but nah, I got the Lakers. I do got the Lakers. Hornets, Nets.
Nets.
I got the Hornets. I know. NBA TV 7:30 could be a preview of a first round matchup. The Jazz and the Dallas Mavericks. Also another big game.
I got the Mavericks potentially overtaking the Jazz. For not only that game, but also the standings. Because Utah, I don't know what it is. They played really well this season. Nobody's really talking about that. But for the fact that like, you know, they dipped a little bit in terms of what I expected. Because obviously we know that Utah's a better team out of the two, but it's like Luka's legit like carrying his team to greater heights. And I didn't expect Utah or Dallas to be tied for as a record wise. So
yeah,
I'm sorry. I got Dallas with that one.
I got Utah. Got my boys in Utah, man. Come on. Let's get it done. But all right. What you said?
Let's hope and pray they could get it done. I hope they could get it done too. I hope they could shock me after what I just said right there. Because I never thought I'd be talking about this.
All right. Let's wrap things up, Josh. You got any final thoughts?
Nah. Yeah, no.
You sad?
No, I'm not sad. There's nothing to be sad about. I'm not in the NBA to be sad, bro. Like, you know, like I would be sad if I was on one of these teams that could potentially get up out of here.
Like the Bulls, yeah. I mean, after this weekend, the Bulls could be the 7th seed. So according to you,
yeah. You know, I can't believe I got to say that. You know.
All right.
So now, let me ask you a question then. So do you believe me when I said that DeRozan has dropped from being in the top 5 now?
Now I do. Maybe not top 5, but he's dropped to the 5th. Yeah. He's dropped. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Wait, you don't think that Luka has surpassed him? I say he's 6 because Luka.
I think Luka is 6 now. Curry's obviously out of it now because of the injury. So, yeah, Luka's probably 6.
And do you think that Devin Booker is in the top 10 right now?
Yeah, I think, Devin Booker's in the top 10. Yeah, most definitely.
Do you feel like he should have more recognition than what he's been given?
Nah, because it's more of the Suns as a unit. And that's really no knock on him. He's a great player. And he's going to step up when he needs to. But it's more of the Suns as a unit.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Most valuable team, I guess.
Yeah. I get that.
Well, all right, let's get on out of here. So for now, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure you tune into tomorrow, next week's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comments, put channel, give us feedback, all that good stuff.
And also follow our social medias, our TikTok and our Instagram.
And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this was the Mind of Basketball podcast.
Season number 2.